21 minutes or 18 minutes rather past the hour of 9. You are listening to Salam Media and you're watching this segment on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel now. An article in the Daily Maverick written by Paul Hoffman. Cadre deployment is counterproductive and illegal in the public administration of SOEs. Paul is the Director of Accountability now, and we welcome him to the program. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Azar, and good morning to your listeners as well.
All right, so Cadre deployment has seemed to be a regular feature of the ANC-led government for many years. But you write in that it's illegal. This could be a very serious matter.
Yes, I think that it is something that has been tolerated for far too long. One cannot complain about cadre deployment in a party political position. That is up to the political party to decide how it is going to select its political leadership. But when it comes to making appointments in the public administration of the country and in its state-owned enterprises, then the constitution trumps the way that the ANC wishes to run its own political party. And the constitution makes it very clear that good human resource management practices must be in place. This provision in the constitution has been tested. Appeal the decision to use cadre deployment practices in effecting appointments in the public administration and the organs of state and the state-owned enterprises.
Paul, for a moment, let's put ourselves into the shoes of the ANC, if that's possible. What would they see as beneficial in cadre deployment? How does it benefit them as an organization?
Their driving ambition is to have the national democratic revolution succeed. The purpose of the main purpose of that revolution to secure society. You are everybody in any position of power in the civil service or in the state-owned enterprises is a loyal cadre of the revolution, and instead of implementing the values of the constitution, which is what civil servants should be doing, the cadres then get on with their loyalty to the revolution and implementing the aims of the revolution. That is why South Africa's service delivery has been lost quarter of a century.
Paul, if we are to look at it from the other side, what negative impact does the cadre deployment policy have in the rendering of services and in the strengthening of South Africa?
Well, the difficulty that any deployed cadre who is in a position because a cadre deployment committee at Latuli House has selected him or her and not to the country. So whenever there's a conflict between the position of a cadre as cadre and the position of the cadre as a public official, the former trumps the latter. Let me give you a quick example. If you were the municipal manager in Pittsburgh, Nevada, and on Monday morning you arrive at work and there are two memos on your desk. The one is from the mayor, and it says, "Sorry to tell you this. My teenage son borrowed the mayoral car on the weekend, drove a car. And the pump in the waterworks is on its last legs. It needs to be replaced urgently. Please let me have a pump." you will know that if the civil servant, the municipal manager, is a proper civil servant, he will say to the mayor, please hire a car while we wait for the next budgetary cycle. I have to spend money on the pump. Whereas the Cadre says, please wire up the pump and keep it going as long as you can. I have to buy a car for the mayor. And that is the conflict of interest that occurs when your first loyalty is to your political party and than to the people of South Africa and to the implementation of its constitution, the upholding of the rule of law.
Now, we've been through a process of state capture, and it's slowly beginning to unravel itself. Do you think, and all of this, we are seeing the effects of Cadre deployment and what it has meant practically for the advancement of South Africa, or perhaps even going backwards. Do you think the ANC has taken lesson from this? Will they be changing their manner of operation, or is it just, another day in the same ocean?
Well, what the ANC did in response to the decision about the municipal manager in the Eastern Cape was to revise its pass through the Cadre deployment committees at Luthuli House instead of through the state structures. And Luthuli House makes what they call a recommendation, and therefore is not, as it were, officially dictating who will be appointed in any position in the public service or stratagem, and that it's use of the constitution, and that the deal that was made in South Africa in 1994 was that the constitution and the rule of law would be supreme in the new South Africa. If they're not prepared to stick to that deal, they either have to amass 75% of the votes in Parliament in order to change the constitution to enable their revolutionary.
All right, it seems as if the network is now really let us down there, Paul. So unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. That network connection has terminated on our side, so we can't really hear what you're saying. But nonetheless, we thank you for your time, Paul Hoffman, the Director at Accountability. Now, speaking about Cadre deployment in the ANC structures, particularly in municipalities, and how that has negatively affected service delivery throughout our country. Just on to 28 minutes past 9. We take a break, and when we come back, we are going to be looking at the situation in Zimbabwe as they prepare for the 31st of July mass protest action expected.